Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event, Microsoft Copilot for Power BI Masterclass, AI Meets Analytics. Presenting today's topic is Gino Joseph. Gino is a Microsoft certified trainer with over 8 years of experience in the technical field. Gino's expertise is in Microsoft Azure, Power Platform, and data science technologies. He has successfully delivered numerous corporate trainings to date and consulting assignments for various clients across the globe. Please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the Data and AI practice area. Netcom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session will explore how to unlock the full potential of Microsoft Copilot for Power BI by showing you how AI can simplify, accelerate, and elevate every part of your analytics workflow. You'll learn how Copilot prepares data, builds reports, and reveals insights with natural language, all in a fraction of the time it traditionally takes. This masterclass will demonstrate how to turn complex data sets into clear, actionable visuals and empower you to make smarter, faster, and more confident decisions with AI-driven intelligence. In addition, participants will get guidance on effectively preparing for the DP 605 certification course and exam in today's session. And now I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handout section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey, Gino, thank you so much for joining us today.
All right, thank you very much, Tracy, for that wonderful introduction and the initial walkthrough. Just a second. Yep. On this day, as we dive into the content for this particular masterclass. All right, everyone. Once again, a very warm welcome as we deep dive into this masterclass where we're going to be exploring, all right, the Copilot for Power BI uh, when it comes to again analyzing the data and its possibilities with that of the Power BI tool to go with. Let me quickly give a round of an say introduction about myself before I deep dive into the content and probably see focus on the agenda and some possible discussions along the line that for the aligned content that has been in place. My name is Gino Joseph. I am a Microsoft certified trainer. I come with 9+ years of experience into the domain of training. I work here in Netcom in the capacity of a technical trainer. Again, my area of expertise lies around products like, say, AI products very specifically, with respect to Gen AI, some custom agents, AI services. I also deal courses with respect to that of, say, some data professional roles for data engineers, for data sciences, and of course for data analysts as such around there. So greatly excited as we deep dive into this masterclass, again leveraging the possibilities with Copilot. I'm pretty sure most of you would have, see, reaped the benefit of maybe working with Copilot and M365 and maybe within that of your office applications. And I'm pretty sure maybe post this completion of the session, you're going to derive value when it comes to working with Copilot in that of your Power BI. So data professionals, okay, maybe BI users, BI professionals, brace yourselves for that interesting journey that we have in on this particular session to go with. So today I'm going to get started with respect to talking about Microsoft Copilot and Power BI. I'm pretty sure, see, you all should be having a fair amount of understanding when it comes to what Copilot really represents, the kind of ecosystem, the UI, like what Microsoft states when it comes to the AI, grounding your data with respect to grounding your responses with respect to your business data within M365. We'll take a diversion on that in terms of having this Copilot being implemented, being exploring these possibilities when it comes to your Power BI, the tool, a really a valuable tool, right, that empowers BI professionals. But we will see that how we can leverage the working of Copilot on those levels to go with. I'll talk about some data preparations, okay, some automation possibilities that can go into, all right, when it comes to the kind of transformations, suggestions, and the possibilities that is very much possible in the context of Power BI by leveraging AI. We will see that how we can work with reports, how we can extract insights using natural language prompts. So I'm pretty sure, see, Copilot as a tool has been, say, helpful. Again, where you can come with your natural language prompts, okay, getting rid of your complexities just with very plain language. We should be able to say pretty much derive value and of course get our tasks done on those levels to go with. And we will see that possibility being discussed here in the context of working with, say, the Copilot within that of your Power BI. We'll see some possibilities, some ideations, all right. And definitely we'll see how we can work with summaries, maybe how you can share your, say, findings with your stakeholders within that of your Power BI for that matter. And of course, maybe towards the end, we can set aside some time towards embracing some questions, queries, concerns, in case if you have any, to accommodate during this session to go with. So let's quickly get started on this a very crisp journey, definitely, but sky is going to be the limit with respect to the possibilities and the kind of the data and the scenarios that you're going to work with. So let's get started to talk about Microsoft Copilot in Power BI. So as you can see here, okay, I'm trying to describe what is Copilot for your the Power BI. Okay, what is it trying to address? What is that kind of value that we're looking into when it comes to working with the Copilot for sure? All right, the kind of possibilities it really introduces. So when we talk about Copilot, we are aware that your Copilot as a tool, all right, is say that which uses the capabilities of your GPT models. And you are with GPT your GPT models or your generative AI models are capable of generating responses, okay? And different models have their own capabilities for sure to go with. But when we very specifically focus on Copilot and that of being integrated into your Power BI, we are talking about leveraging the capabilities of transformations, all right, that can be introduced with generative AI so that you are able to retrieve the best out of your business data. And that's where your Copilot really excels, derive, helping you with respect to the kind of values to go with. And within Power BI, you have options, all right, where again, maybe you want to say have a chat-based experience, all right, with where maybe on an ad hoc basis, whenever you want to quickly extract insights for your business users, maybe to working with respect to tax generation for some advanced creation as such around here, it is pretty much possible in the case of your Copilot for your Power BI to go with. And of course, there are also various, say, AI-infused features that is being made available in the context of your Copilot to work with. And lot is the possibilities because again you can use your Copilot, all right, where your Copilot offers you a wide range of varieties and variety of capabilities when it comes to enhanced productivity, whenever you want to streamline your workflows for your business users, maybe to work with your report authors, maybe with your data model owners, all right, and so on so. And that's where you can use artificial intelligence, the very much the AI part for that matter being, and you can simplify your complex task. Maybe you want to get some actionable insights. You want to improve the overall data experiences. Definitely, that's going to be pretty much possible. So that's where you see you need to understand who can use your Copilot. All right. I'm pretty sure, say when I say Copilot, let's confine the discussion to that of the BI users very particularly. All right. In the context of your Power BI as a tool. So you might be wondering, all right, what are the possibilities or to what extent, say, I should be able to use my, say, what you call Copilot and leverage the benefit with it. But yes, I must say this. For example, if you are a business user, all right, you're a business user and you may want to engage, you want to chat with your data. All right, that is where you want to engage, retrieve insights very specifically. Maybe you want to find content. Maybe you want to do some kind of an ad hoc analysis, fetch insights on the go very specifically. It's going to be pretty much possible. So whenever you want to say, for example, as a business user, you are trying to create, analyze visuals, all right. You want to get summaries of the entire reports, or maybe you want to focus on specific, say, topics and so and so. That's where, say, you would be able to benefit from a tool or maybe the Copilot, your AI assistant, within that of your Power BI for that matter. Now, this is very similar, like for example, how maybe your team members would be able to engage, right? So within the context of your business, whenever you might have some kind of a follow-up question, all right, maybe about a particular report, a kind of an analysis that has been done, they might prefer to see ask questions as such around there. So what you can do is you can use the same capability as you would have interacted with a professional, maybe using the capabilities of artificial intelligence. You can ask questions related to the data in the semantic model, as your Copilot will be able to use, fetch, say, specific topics, answer the questions, okay, and it will use the capabilities of LLM, that is your large language model, to construct your responses for that matter being. And that's where, say, you can use, all right, for you as a business user, you can have, say, very particularly ask questions using natural language. Okay, you can have it consume, or you can work with Copilot in that of your standalone Copilot experience, maybe in that of your reports, or maybe in that of your particular apps as such around there. And maybe say, as we work with respect to, say, as we proceed, all right, maybe you are very particularly, say, what do you call, someone who works with respect to you are a report author, maybe you're a data modeler as such around there, even it is pretty much possible to leverage the possibilities in the context of your, say, what do you call, with respect to that of your Copilot to go with. So maybe you want to create reports. I'll show you some demonstrations very particularly. All right. Maybe you want to edit some reports. All right. By leveraging the underlying infrastructure orchestration of your artificial intelligence with that of your Copilot, it's possible. Maybe you want to get some quick summaries. Okay, definitely that's going to be possible. Okay, so as a business user, okay, maybe as that of a, what do you call, say, as a creator, you can definitely be able to do that in those levels to go with. So you can use your Copilot where you can quickly create, edit your reports using natural language prompts. And of course, you can save a lot of time when you are trying to build, when you're trying to refine your Power BI reports. Maybe you want to get some kind of a professional visualizations with very minimum, all right, very less manual configuration. That is pretty much possible on those levels to go with. And say maybe you want to work with respect to DAX queries, maybe you want to add descriptions, documentations, and so and so. This is going to be really be helpful for that matter be. And that's where you need to understand, all right, say what are the features, what are the capabilities of your Copilot for that matter be. So one is definitely, I'm pretty sure, see, if you would have started working with Copilot within your M365, maybe say within your Office applications, you would have seen, all right, a very consistent kind of a UI where you have the chat experience, which is again empowered by the underlying GPT models for sure. So with your GPT models, definitely the 3.5 and the higher versions, definitely they come with pre-built capabilities when it comes to interacting or maybe chat-based, context-based interactions for that matter. And that's where, say, you can use your natural language Q&A. I'm not talking about the natural language query that you have within your dashboards, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where the Copilot on the specific app, on the UI of the app, you can start interacting about your data for that matter. And maybe you're going to work with your reports. Maybe you want to work with your semantic data models that have been carefully been created to represent or maybe say particularly showcase a kind of an insight, okay, on the basis of a certain instance. It is pretty much possible. Maybe say you are going to be working with respect to that of say you are going to be looking in and looking to explore the possibilities, okay, where you want to get some kind of summaries, all right, of your reports. That's pretty much possible. Maybe you want to create some summaries, all right, maybe you want to work with narrative visuals. I'm pretty sure that is also be possible with your Copilot for that matter. And all of this is pretty much possible at the tip of your fingers as you introduce your natural language prompts on those scenarios to go with. Maybe you want to build visualizations, maybe you want to explore some insights where you don't want to manually write some kind of a code. Maybe you don't want to work with respect to some kind of a complex queries and so and so. That is pretty much possible. And as I already stated, right, it's just a repetition, but I'm trying to tell you, I'm just trying to lay out the possibilities of what Copilot really offers to be. And as a data professional, maybe you are spending, you love working with respect to the capabilities, the kind of the features of your DAX queries. So definitely you can use what the DAX expressions for that matter, where you can use your prompt, like how we might have, we can think of somebody who works in Excel and making use of Copilot, the kind of same stuff, but here it will be very specific to your data analysis expression queries in that of your Copilot to go with. And maybe you want to create some documentations, right? Very important as you want to share and collaborate and so and so. Maybe working with respect to the descriptions, the metadata that goes with your table, the columns involved, right? The data type, the kind of measures, the logic behind those measures very specifically. This can also be taken into consideration. So you can use your Copilot, which can quickly say generate multiple lines of content, all right, contextually on the basis of the underlying data or the semantic model that you're chosen to work with respect to the kind of scenario that we're trying to talk with. But yes, see, again, some use cases that you can be thinking about. Uh, so this is going to be really be beneficial whenever you want to get some quick insights as such around there. All right. Uh, that for maybe for your stakeholders, all right. Maybe say working with respect to that of say um, some quick analysis that can be introduced and so and so. That is pretty much possible. And then maybe you want to build some reports, all right, maybe some dashboards by automating what you call time consuming tasks like measures and data summaries as such around there. Even that is pretty much possible. Uh, Maybe I already stated, right, the documentation capabilities, all right, the clarity that can be introduced very particularly on that. Again, maybe you want to do some EDA, that is exploratory data analysis. Maybe you want to ask some questions on the go, on the fly. Maybe you want to filter some data or do some kind of a testing with respect to some kind of queries with your natural language. You want to say perform some what you call repetitive task, okay, being reduced, all right, for your users to what you call say provide you with simple data queries as such around there. Even that is pretty much possible on those levels to go with. So as a business user, maybe say as someone who works with respect to authoring okay data models, okay, modeling them as such around there, you can use your Copilot on those levels to go with. So, of course, I'm pretty sure you all are aware of maybe the modalities in which your Copilot is available. Okay, so one of the ways in which you will be able to work with respect to Copilot is that you have, okay, Copilot in your Power BI desktop. Okay, now to work with Copilot in your Power BI desktop, I need to highlight few things here before I deep dive into the further facets. So as the typical orchestration or maybe the flow of your BI task involves, where you start with maybe your desktop, then you may publish your reports to your service, and then maybe you want to consume it through your mobiles and apps as such around them. So in the first part that I'm just discussing here is that you need to have access to a particular license, that is the Fabric Copilot capacity very particularly. Okay, so whenever you want to use Copilot in Power BI desktop, okay, if you don't have access to a Fabric Copilot same capacity, okay, then you won't be able to say particularly be using that. So you need maybe an admin member, okay, to kind of access tool, okay, in the workspace with respect to a paid Fabric capacity, or maybe you can also have a Power BI premium capacity attached, ensuring that on a given workspace, okay, you have Copilot being enabled. So when you use Copilot in your Power BI desktop for the first time, okay, you will have to be choosing the right workspace. See here. So even though it's visible, let me show you from here in my case. All right, just a second. Okay, just a second. Okay. See here, so whenever you're going to choose this, it is very important that you're going to tie it with respect to a specific workspace that is important. Okay, so you will have to cherry pick a right compatible Copilot enabled compatible workspace when you select the Copilot button in that of your particular ribbon. Okay, the menu ribbon that we are talking about. So in case if you have selected a particular workspace, all right, say um, then of course, and it doesn't have that capability or maybe that capacity enabled, all right, the feature that has been enabled very specifically to accommodate or maybe say have Copilot been enabled, you won't be able to work with it accordingly. Okay, now it's not necessary that see the workspace that you select, okay, uh, should be the same as the workspace when you plan to publish a report as such, but definitely say it's important that you need to have what that kind of a feature being enabled as such. Number two is that see the next possibility is that you will have to say since we are looking into working with respect to the Power BI part, all right, it is important to work with your Power BI. Okay, just a second. Mm, let me open this up. And, okay, see here. So you can see here, whenever you want to work with your Copilot, within that of your Power BI service. All right. You need to ensure the reports are located in that particular workspace that has the right capacity. That is very, very important. So right now you can see my revenue opportunities, the particular dashboard, the report that I've tried to open here very particularly. What you can definitely do is, okay, you will have to place it into that workspace, all right, where you will have the right, what you call, say, particular capacity being enabled in that. Or maybe you want to go for the premium Power BI capacity. Maybe you want to go for a what you call a Fabric Copilot capacity. Even that is pretty much possible for that matter be. And this is where again once you bring in or once you introduce very particularly your what you call say your reports, your dashboards as such around there, you can leverage working with respect to the Copilot as such around there. Okay, let me just a second. Hmm. Okay, so as I rightly stated, okay, of course, it is important that you need to either have a premium capacity within that of your workspace, all right, of your Power BI service, and maybe either it's the premium one or the Fabric capacity being enabled so that you can harness, you can be benefiting from that of the underlying AI capabilities in your Power BI for that matter. Okay, with respect to the Copilot. So as you choose to interact, okay, again, it has to be enabled very specifically, all right, to work, all right, and you can use what the chat experience that is offered, all right, with respect to asking questions in the context through conversations, all right, and maybe you want to ask questions and so and so, it is pretty much possible. So there are few requirements, okay, whenever you're looking for a seamless kind of an experience with Copilot and Power BI, you'll have to meet some specific criteria as such around there. And that will depend upon the type of the experience that you're using. So for example, if you're going to work with standalone Copilot, or maybe are you going to go for your Copilot pane within that of your reports and so and so, it will definitely vary for that matter. So whenever, say, your your administrator has to enable that Copilot in your Fabric. Okay, you need to have an F2 capacity very particularly, all right, to use your Copilot, at least for that matter. And of course, it has to be in that kind of a region where these kind of what you call say one of the regions listed in your Fabric region availability, where you will be able to use your Copilot for that matter. So again, say you will have to be, it is not, your Copilot is something that is not available for some sovereign clouds. Okay, and as of now, very particularly for the due to the GPU availability as such around there, but yes, definitely it has to be enabled. So from a tenant perspective, users can say can use your Copilot. Okay, other features powered by your Azure OpenAI must be enabled at the tenant level. Okay, and then definitely you will have to users can access your standalone, your Power BI Copilot accordingly on those selections to go with. So you can definitely, as I already stated, all right, say you can definitely work with respect to different possibilities and the different scope of your agents in those scenarios to go with. Just give me a minute. Let me try to say. hmm, Let me showcase this particular part. Okay, I don't think so. This is gonna be. Hmm, okay, just a second. Trying to log in. Here, the part that I'm trying to talk about. So, let's say I have logged in very particularly. So to use my Copilot, see, it is important that in this, once I have logged in, I'll have to choose a workspace where the particular license is being enabled. All right. So that's where I'll have to navigate to my fabric. Okay. And I'll have to create a workspace. All right. And let's see workspace pilot, see demo. Okay. And yes, you'll have to ensure that you are in the same, the right capacity. So, okay, this seems to be taking a bit of time. There you go. All right, so let's try to create a workspace with respect to the fabric capacity having been enabled. You can see that it takes a bit of time as such around there. Okay, so let me give a name as workspace Copilot, see demo. Of course, as I did mention, you would have seen that it's necessary that you have to have the premium capacity or maybe the fabric capacity to go with. Okay, on a particular region. Again, the fabric service should be available in that region where you choose to provision your particular service to go with. That is very, very important. That needs to be taken into account as we talk about it. So as we go, all right, you can definitely have it applied. And let me apply this very particularly. And the moment I create a workspace with that particular capacity, see here, okay, you can, what do you call, go into see, does it show? Let me close this. Let me try to select a workspace. Yes, there you go. Now you see it shows the workspace. So that's very important. You need to connect to the right workspace that supports the Copilot. So when I had created a workspace there within my Power BI service, it had that particular capacity, the fabric capacity being enabled. So you can check, maybe professional team guys, you can check with your organization what goes best in your scenario to go with. Again, our motto is not to get into that kind of what you call, say, the licensing part. It's a very complex facet definitely to be discussed about, but again, not a part of the session. But yes, definitely you can go back and revisit and maybe see, understand what works best in your scenario. Maybe if you already have an existing, say, plan in your place and you want to leverage, harness the power of artificial intelligence with your virtual assistant, that is Copilot, you can do that. So let me click on my the demo part, okay, the one that we have here in this case. All right, and see, try to select the workspace and choose to work with the tool as such around there. Okay, yes, let's see. Okay. Yeah. So once that has been done, you can see now it's been enabled. So this is where the chat experience comes in. Okay. One of the ways in which you can leverage the working of your particular, what it calls, say, the chat experience to go with. And that's where, say, once you have, say, maybe you want to work with respect to once this has been enabled. All right. So you can use the Copilot very much in those levels. So the same aspect is something that you should be able to see within your workspace also. So in your workspace within your fabric, all right, in your Power BI very much, you will be able to say start, all right, a standalone Copilot experiences that is available. So that can help you find questions, answers about any report, a semantic model, maybe even if you have a fabric data agent that you have access to, you should be able to avail from it. So this is entirely different from a Copilot pane. Understand that, okay? Because in your Copilot pane, you have only answers to the questions about the report that you currently have opened as such. Whereas when you have Copilot as a standalone app experience, all right, it serves a different possibilities for that matter. So it provides you with a lot of, say, a range of capabilities so that whenever you want to interact with your data more effectively, whenever you want to, say, work with respect to some conversation interface, that really simplifies your data exploration, analysis, and so and so. Maybe finding the right answer to your questions and so and so. That is very much possible for that matter. So depending upon what has been emplaced within that of your, what you call, say, the workspaces, you can definitely say ask that questions like how maybe in your M365 your say the Copilot chat works. It is pretty much possible. So you can have that, say, ask questions, classified questions to narrowing it down. All right. And definitely working on those. So even if you want to search for some items, maybe you want to use some kind of a fabric agent and so and so. That is pretty much possible in that case to go with. Okay. Number two is that say you can use your Copilot with your Power BI reports and semantic models for various of your tasks. Again, maybe you are a business user, maybe you are a report creator. You can ask questions about the data in the report that you're going to be working with as such around there. So maybe say you want to get summaries of your report, even that's possible. So let me try to say within my workspace. Let me go to my workspace. Okay, I don't have one. Okay, let me try to upload a particular report from my computer rather than see, yep, I have the same revenues opportunities. It's going to take some time, but yes. And let's see, let me show. So many a times reports are something very complex to understand, right? Maybe, and that's where you see, and maybe as a consumers, they might be looking for understanding very particularly a quick explanation. All right. So sometimes maybe as consumers, they might have some challenges with your visual part. Okay, they might want require some kind of an help as such. And that's where they might want to have a natural language understanding of summaries that can help them through the kind of insights to work upon. So that's where when you're working within your particular workspace, where what do you call the Copilot is being enabled on that particular fabric capacity, your consumers can ask questions about reports and get answers in the Copilot pane. So your Copilot can specifically say find data points for the users. All right. Maybe you want to return them as that of an output. Okay. With respect to a kind of a visual and so and so, that is pretty much possible for that matter be. So what you can definitely do is say you can go to your say the report. Right. Let's try to load this. And there you go. Yes. Click on Copilot. And here you go. My assistant is ready. Right. Now this is where I can start asking questions. Okay. Um, for example, maybe I want to ask, okay, some questions for that matter. All right. Let's see again, what is it? Maybe a very simple way for a consumer. All right. Maybe he's interested in knowing, she's interested in knowing what the report page is all about. And the Copilot can quickly scan the entire report as such around there. There you see, the Copilot pretty much say gives you an understanding, okay, a summary of what the opportunity overview is all about. Okay, to just get started with, all right, and maybe the sales opportunities, the total opportunity, the overall aspect that is for the matter be. So maybe say, uh, all right, I can ask questions, all right, show me the measures used in the report. If there are any, let's see. All right. Okay, the semantic model includes several tables such as accounts, opportunities, partners, products, sales, and however, based on the schema provider, there are no explicit measures as such around. Okay, that is okay. So maybe the type of measure that maybe I could have introduced more of a kind of a specific question on those levels that would have been pretty much possible. So here, as I'm working with a particular kind of a report, all right, I can definitely say make use of what the Copilot in this case as a business user, all right, I can say very much make use of the Copilot to generate what kind of queries or maybe say working with my reports, my models, and so on. So I can ask questions very much on that. And then definitely say I'll show you one after the other, how definitely we are going to navigate into the possibilities here to go with. And definitely say maybe you want to say you want to work for your maybe you want to use your Copilot within your apps. Even that is pretty much possible. I'm not going to get into that. Maybe you want to use your Copilot in your Power BI desktop. Even that is possible. As I stated, of course, you need to have what the workspace be enabled in that case to go with. So once that has been done, okay, what you can definitely do is say you can go back to your Power BI desktop. Here it is, and see here. Okay, maybe you want to ask some questions very particularly on the kind of data that we have in. That is pretty much possible within that of your Power BI desktop also. Again, maybe say when you're working with DAX as such around there, okay, and definitely say even you want to use Copilot on those levels, it is pretty much possible. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Uh, okay, okay, let's ask for a content for a new page report. Let's see. Okay, so here is where the Copilot suggested me that create a page to explore overall sales performance and trends as such. So let me try to click on create and let's see whether it does or not. Yep. See, it created a particular report as such. Of course, see here incorporating the necessary facets, and definitely it was editable. See, okay, you may want it to have incorporated. See here, the total revenue by product code, see the sales stage, the total revenue. Maybe you want to have it again represented in a different way, different format. That is pretty much possible. Okay, in the case to go with. And then from there, definitely see maybe you want to add more insights, maybe you want to change your visualizations and so on. So even that is pretty much possible. All right. So what you can do is say in varying levels, say whether it's your once being enabled, you can leverage, all right, what do you call say, very particularly working with your co-pilot in this context as such. Now, let me show you something very interesting that you can definitely be benefiting from as we use your co-pilot as such around there in your Power BI. Let me just a second. Let me see. Hmm, where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me try to. mm, Okay. One of the things also that you can use your once your Copilot has been enabled is that you can also say go for working with respect to preparing your data for AI. So in your Power BI desktop, okay, you have the prep data for AI. You see here, okay, you can have a check very particularly, but yes, that is pretty much possible. So what it really introduces is that, see, you can prepare your data for Copilot as such around there. That is pretty much possible. So your Microsoft Power BI, okay, has new capabilities where you can get your data ready for natural language experiences with Copilot. That's pretty much possible. So whenever you want to get the best results from your Copilot in Power BI, okay, uh, you should have a semantic model that follows certain practices as such around there. All right. And definitely same so that you are able to optimally interact with the underlying AI orchestrator. All right. That can help you on those levels. And that's where there are these tools that are there that will really help you prepare your data for your AI for that matter be. And that's where, okay, you can use this prep data for AI, all right, that will help your data for AI. So you can use different features that when I click on this, let me open this up. Okay, see here. This is again another facet that you can consider working with, all right, make use of in the context of your particular Copilot, all right, the three features that you have, all right, that will help you prepare your data for artificial intelligence. So what happens in the context of the Copilot? It really reduces any ambiguity. Maybe you want to improve some kind of relevance, all right. You want to have accuracy, All right, a very, very intuitive kind of an interaction taking place, that is going to be very much possible. So the real benefit when you leverage something like prep data for your AI, all right, is that you create a foundation, all right, by ensuring that you have the best high quality data upon which your responses can be grounded. And of course, providing your co-pilot with respect to context-aware AI experience. So for example, maybe sometimes it's possible you're going to deal with say ambiguous data, right? Maybe data is unstructured and so on. So I definitely say expect that sometimes it's possible that AI can find it difficult interpreting it. Okay, and maybe that can lead to some insights that can be misleading, maybe something that is inaccurate and so and so. So that's where when you want to invest into data preparations, okay, uh, when you start investing into that data prep time, of course your AI systems will be able to leverage the benefit, okay, with respect to the context of your business, so that you are being provided the right informations, having answers being very, very consistent, reliable, and so on. So in your Power BI desktop, all right, you can definitely make use of what the prep data feature that is available in your Power BI desktop as such, and definitely say you have this unified experience upon which you will be able to work with it. So what you can do is say you have three options, that is simplify the data schema. Okay, you have the verified answers. Maybe you want to add AI instructions, even that is very much possible. So what happens is that you can make use of this. Okay, so for example, okay, um, mm, let's say, let's select verified answer. All right, see here. And then of course, from the given menu very particularly, all right, you can very much say, select a phrase to be verified for that matter be. Okay, maybe you want to select a particular visual, or let's say, for example, monthly, maybe let's say here, see, all right, and then definitely say you should be able to, yeah, and you may want to have, maybe you want to apply to the viewers, all right, maybe you want to have it apply to your visual very particularly. That is pretty much possible. So what happens is that again, you can have this feature being enabled. You can prepare, all right, you can select a particular visual and have it going on those levels for that matter being. Now whenever you're going to work with respect to say working with respect to, now the same feature is something that is available in that of say what do you call, in your Power BI service too. Even that is pretty much possible. I'll show you that in a while, but yes, you can definitely be doing that in that case to go with. And maybe say you want to add some kind of a phrase, maybe you want to very particularly say go for some kind of a trigger phrases as such around there, all right, that is pretty much possible. And based upon that, maybe say you want to have it verified, you want to have it added very particularly, all right, maybe you want to have it applied to your visual. Definitely see again the kind of, see here the trigger phrases that you want to consider. Okay, you can make use of this. All right, maybe you want to have it added, okay, a phrase very particularly to be added, or maybe see you want to have it added, and you can again apply this on those levels to go with. This is pretty much possible. So again, maybe say on your, again here, all right, in your Power BI service, all right, even you can do the same facet accordingly. So in your Power BI service, let's say, all right, let's go for my workspace. There it is. I should go for the same feature that is available. Let's go to our semantic model. All right. Uh, all right. And see here, prep data for AI in the Power BI service. Okay. And here, all right, you can definitely leverage maybe verified answers or whatever that you want to be considering. All right. Of course, in that Copilot enabled workspace, once you have the authoring permissions, working on the report page and so and so, you can set verified answer as such around there. Okay. Maybe you want to set some kind of a trigger phrases very particularly, let's say distribution as such around there. All right. And see the visualization. All right. And maybe you want to work on it. Definitely that is possible. Okay, just a second. Maybe you want to add a trigger phrase. Again, on those possibilities does exist as such. Okay, answers that can be verified upon. So you can ensure on a very consistent way that your data gets prepared, all right, for your AI to be responded for. And the kind of skills that I spoke about, say when it comes to maybe the data schema and so, this is really helpful. by default it's available. So you can immediately access the full functionality of Copilot. All right, maybe you want to kind of customize the skill and so and so. Even that is very much possible. And you can have it tested in that of your scenario to go with. That is pretty much possible. Okay, to just to let you know on that. Then say again, say as I stated, okay, for again, we spoke about these facets, okay, like where you will be able to generate summaries. I'll show you something that where you should be able to work with respect to summaries as such around there. So for example, whenever you want to summarize a particular report, all right, with your Copilot, it is pretty much possible. So what Copilot does is that, okay, it lets you create insightful summaries about your reports, maybe taking the visuals, okay, that were being created, all right, built by the authors, generating some summaries as such around there. And for that, you can just use some plain, say, prompts in that scenarios to go with. That is pretty much possible. So what you need to do is say you can definitely go to your Power BI here, and let's go to our report, and let's see here, let's enable this. All right. And you can just like what I stated here earlier, right? See here, summarize the sales trend, like kind of a stuff we can definitely be providing as that of a prompt as such. Let me fetch this up. Okay. All right. See, mm, let's see. Okay. I asked, I showed you, right? Okay. Here it is. So it gives me a quick summary on those levels for that matter. All right. Maybe see again, you can see sometimes here there are some citations involved into it. Again, even it's using generative prompt as such, key capabilities. But yes, you can refer to the citations that it refers in terms of again the kind of summary that has been generated. Now, you need not have to always stick with this very generic, what you call prompts that are available. So for example, all right, maybe say you want to understand more of granularity of your data, okay? And that's where you can use custom prompts within that of your Copilot for that matter. Okay. For example, let's say, okay, generate a bulleted list of the s- summary about the, let's see, mm, what do you call revenue by, and let's see whether we are able to get some kind of, again, some kind of a prompt engineering stuff that's coming up. But yes, okay, there you see. So based upon, let me enlarge this a bit so that you guys can see what I'm trying to talk about. Okay. All right. And maybe now, interesting guys, I'm not sure whether you have explored these possibilities, but yes, with AI, it's important that you have transparent solutions. Okay. And that's where, say, maybe you can make leverage use of Copilot to ask maybe the AI to understand how did it arrive. So here on a particular region and so, it gives you the explanation with respect to the bulleted list for that matter. Let's say, all right. I can also ask questions about, say, let's say, outline the insights about what do you call, say, uh, total opportunity, all right, by the region. So it's trying to understand that, okay? Thanks. Okay, fine. Okay, it gives me again, I'm just talking about some custom, see what you call, uh, very particular custom prompts that can be given in this case to go with, okay? Let's say, um, mm, can you generate a quick summary, okay, uh, of the data specific to the month of, let's say, March in detail. Now, this is again expecting that as a business user very particularly. All right. I'm not talking from a perspective of a creator. I'm talking from the perspective of a business user as such around it. See, so it gives me a quick summary of what has happened in the month of March, what was the total revenue, what are the opportunities, and so in the context as such around there. That is pretty much possible. So you can use what, say, a lot of, say, these again custom prompts that can be provided with. All right. Say for example, let me ask again, let me ask Copilot, like, let's say it has some kind of a suggestion that I can be using in the context of this work. So for example, let's say summarize, mm, okay, the data in a way that, see, allows, I'm sorry, allows, see, okay, me to use uh, it in it in an email to the leadership. I'm just asking these questions. Okay, let me see whether Copilot can help me on this. Yeah, so here is a quick summary that again that can be communicated. So I can use, say, again with from sky is the limit, but definitely say with this kind of nuances, okay, that can be introduced with respect to your data, you can achieve relevancy. You can have, say, get very efficient targeted informations, all right, spanning across the entire data set, and maybe you want to have some personalized summaries for a specific individual with respect to specific prioritized tasks with the kind of experience that you're looking in with respect to some kind of precision, decision making, the kind of dexterity, and so and so. That is pretty much possible in the context of your Copilot as a business user for that matter. Now, what you can also do is see, you can also create something called as report subscriptions with your Copilot summaries in your say with your Copilot summaries in your Power BI for that matter. So what you can do is you can include a Copilot generated summary for your entire report page, or maybe for a report attachment in your email subscriptions for that matter. And for that, of course, what you'll have to do is you'll have to subscribe to the report, and then you'll have to create a particular subscription for that matter. So what you're going to do is you'll have to see here in this case is that, okay, let's see, just a second. Okay, yeah, you'll have to create a subscription. All right, again, under the subscription category. Maybe you want to go for dynamic, you want to go for standard, that's possible. I'll keep standard very much here in this case. And then definitely see, I can give a name, okay? I can give a subscription name that I'm looking into, all right? And of course, I can attach my recipients, who my recipients are gonna be, all right? To whom I want to share for that matter. And do you want to attach a full report? Do you want to, maybe as PDF, maybe as PowerPoint? I can send it to specific users as such around there. And of course, on a scheduled time, okay, very particularly, maybe repeat it on certain basis very much. All right, you should be able to do that in that case to go with. And of course, um, you can have it enabled. You can also maybe say you want to have it deliver the full report to maybe your OneDrive, maybe to your SharePoint location and so via your email. Okay, even that is pretty much possible. And you can, as I stated, that you can of course schedule the delivery of your report with respect to the kind of frequency that you're looking in. Okay, how often on a daily level, on a weekly level, and so on. So, and of course, in the summary by Copilot, you see here. So this is where, okay, of course, you want to with the preview summary assets, so you can include AI generated summary, which will update, which will get automatically updated with respect to the latest data as such around there. And maybe you want to, of course, you can save this, all right, and have it enabled in that case to go with. That is pretty much possible. But yes, of course, again, we're not going to get into those initial aspects, or say the depths of it definitely. But yes, whenever you're going to work with these kind of summaries for email subscriptions, again, they aren't say available for dynamic per recipient subscriptions as such around there. And of course, when you're going to do that, okay, it will be the summaries that will be generated will be run on the behalf of the subscription owner. All right, like the email subscriptions. So maybe you have, if you have some kind of a user defined prompts and so on, so that won't work in this case to go with. All right. So definitely you can definitely incorporate these facets and again have created these facets accordingly to work with respect to the subscriptions to be going with. Maybe you want to use your Copilot, all right. Maybe you want to say search for a content as I stated. You can use what the Copilot standalone experience for that matter. So whenever you, once this has been enabled, all right, Copilot has been enabled, you can use Copilot as a search whenever you want to work with Fabric Copilot. Okay, you can have an improved search experience, all right, with respect to the various settings, all right, whenever you want to find an item, maybe you want to get some summaries about some aspects accordingly, even that can be done. So for example, within that workspace, all right, see here, all right, maybe I want to get some questions or maybe say some scenarios, maybe I want to find some data and so I can, like what I talked about in the chat experience, all right, within your M365, you can definitely be doing that in this case to go with. All right, everyone. We have been listening for a while. Let's take a quick short break and come back after the break to continue further ahead on the discussion on the possibilities with your Copilot in Power BI.
Thank you so much, Gino. Hello, everyone. I am Ria, and now I would like to take over and go through the badge redemption part. I'm excited to announce that all the participants in today's masterclass have been given a free exclusive access to DP605 courseware. And the best part is you also get to claim your digital achievement badges on Microsoft Learn to Celebrate Your Fundamental Skilling Journey. Issued by Microsoft, these badges can help you highlight your newly acquired skills and boost your career potential. Let's take a quick look at the steps that you need to follow. So on right hand side you can see a QR, and if you have your mobile phone handy you can just scan this and you can easily use our mobile phone landing page to redeem your courseware or certificates. And if currently you're on PC or laptop, this button over here, this is a clickable button. By clicking on this, you can easily redeem your courseware and certificates. So let's quickly see 3 steps that you need to follow. So step number 1 is sign into a Microsoft Learn account using your personal or professional Outlook or Hotmail account. And if you already signed in, you will directly be seeing step 2 with redeem your code already filled over there. So this button over here, this is also a clickable button. By clicking on this, you can also redeem your courseware and certificates. So step number 2 is your unique code will already be pre-filled over here. You don't need to add anything. You just need to click on redeem button to redeem your courseware certificates. So step number 3 is you will receive a message indicating that your achievement has been added to your profile. So you just need to click on view profile and now you can access Microsoft official courseware module from the training tab. So we'll quickly show you an example how your redemption page would look like. So to download or generate your certificates, you need to follow 3 steps. First, you need to click on achievement, then courses, and you'll see this printer icon over here. By clicking on this, you can download your certificates. And after that, you can showcase your achievement on your social media, your LinkedIn, and you can tag Netcom Learning with that. And if you have any query regarding this badge redemption part, our team is there in chat. You can type your question and they will help you. And with that, I would like to leave you for the break. Thank you so much, everyone.
Sure, we are now going to take a 5-minute break, but before we do that, we are going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register.
Welcome back, everyone. I believe you all had a great break. Let's continue further ahead on this journey to explore Copilot in your Power BI. Now, as maybe say, this is where from a business, what do you call, user perspective. Okay. Now, within that of your Copilot, okay, you can use say you can create reports, you can edit reports very particularly in that of your particular Power BI. So whenever you want to create reports, okay, whenever you want to edit your natural language prompts and so and so, that is pretty much possible. So what you need to do is say, okay, let's go back to our workspace here and let's go to our report. Okay, having the report selected, all right. Of course, what you can do is you can click on the edit button, right? And here you go. Okay, let's leave this part as such. And now what you can definitely do is you can click on the Copilot here, Copilot. See, and you can see ask Copilot for helping you with some kind of a content for this report. See, suggest content for a, okay, let's see, it's suggesting as such, okay? And do you want to have it inserted? That's up to you. But yes, let's see. Okay, yeah, there you see here. So your Copilot generates a report page based on your particular report or maybe some suggestions as such around there. Okay, and definitely see maybe you want to do a smart report creation, all right, with respect to some kind of flexible editing. Maybe you want to add some visualizations, all right. See, definitely you can have it edited or maybe you can have it created and inserted into your report for that matter. And you can also use say once the see here, this is very helpful, right? So it's something that is not being represented. Again, the kind of time, maybe the analysis and so on. So that goes into definitely you can have it retrieved and placed in this case to go with. And maybe you want to use your Copilot for Power BI and you want to create some narrative summaries. Even that is very much possible. So you can create what say use your Copilot in your say Power BI and you want to insert very particularly on those levels, it's possible. So for example, let's say I'm in my report, all right, and I want to try some kind of what you call say some prompts very specifically, all right. So before you say start using say you once you have it enabled for that matter, the Copilot for your Power BI, all right, you can use what the prompts that are about that you want to go with. So for example, let's say in this particular case, you can maybe you can run these prompts and maybe you want to say, for example, let's say create a page to identify, let's say, and compare the trends, okay, um, trends across, I'm sorry, across regions, uh, let's see, and stages. Let's see what it does. Okay, it does some kind of comparisons here. Okay, yeah, pretty much possible. Okay, so I can very much make use of these. Again, I can run prompts. So I have a very interesting slide. I'm just giving you some examples here. See, okay, yeah, I spoke about this. Uh, yeah. See, so some of the prompts that you can try or you can think about. Okay, so for example, maybe you want to create a new page whenever maybe you have some kind of sales data very particularly. So prompts again, you know that prompts play a very crucial role, right? Irrespective of whether you're creating reports, you're working with dashboards, maybe models as such around there. You can run the right identified prompt as such on the specific data that you're going to work with, and your Copilot team will be able to retrieve those insights. Now look at this case here. Again, say some prompts that you can consider for your reports or maybe your pages as such around there. Maybe you want to create a narrative visual, even that is very much possible, as I already stated. Okay, so for example, again, maybe you're in Power BI service, maybe say you are into your Power BI desktop. Okay, of course, you need to have this very much being enabled as such around there. So what you're going to do is say, okay, let's say, let me go to my here. Let's see. All right. Let me see. mm, Let me try to. Okay, let me select my narrative visual. Just a second. Narrative. Okay. Yeah. See. It's an interesting, say, visualization that we have in, all right, where, of course, you with very few clicks, all right, you can summarize the entire report, maybe specific pages, maybe even specific visualizations and so on. So if you want to have some kind of a tonality, maybe with respect to a particular prompt that can be augmented with, even that can be done. I'm just giving you some examples here. Okay. So you can choose the kind of course, you can specify, all right. You can choose whether you want to go for a custom one, you want to go for a Copilot. Since we are relying upon the Copilot capabilities, you can click on see here. And then again, it suggests you some of the prompts that you can try. Okay, and this is where you see the create a narrative with Copilot dialog that opens up. Okay, and I believe you should be able to see. Okay, if needed, you can include one of the what you call templated prompts, or maybe see something that is available. All right, or maybe you want to exclude them, or maybe you want to create something. Definitely, it is pretty much possible. So for example, let's say maybe you want to, what are the visuals that you want to refer to? Do you want to refer the current page? Maybe you want to work with respect to certain visualization, certain part, and so on. So that is pretty much possible. And what you can do is, let's say, let me get an executive summary of this entire page. All right, see, okay, that was multi-select. All right, and let's update this, and let's see what we get here in this case. Now I could have made it more, say, streamlined, or let's say I can say that make sure, okay, the response is in bullet points, okay, easy to understand, and okay, easy to understand and formatted for easy reading. I'm just giving you some custom scenario. Okay, let me have this updated. See the changes, see the kind of impact my prompt has introduced here. All right. And let's see, let me have this expanded a bit more. You can see again, you can see the citations that have been mentioned in this case to go with. That is pretty much possible. And then definitely see you can have it embedded very particularly into that of your visualization. Okay, the particular report that we just created. All right. And again, you want to edit it. All right. And so on. So even that is pretty much possible in that case to go with. So you can work with respect to what see the scenarios where you can create what narrative visuals. All right. And work on those contexts. Let me get this removed as such. Okay, as you're using Copilot in this case. Now you can also see again, maybe you want to refine, say, an already existing, say, a narrative visual. That's pretty much possible. All right. Maybe see, maybe you want to create prompts very specifically, say in this case. All right. When we have a kind of a report, this is fully occupied. Okay, we don't have anything. Yeah, here again, same, maybe you want to understand some specific relationships or write in your data. Again, you can run prompts on those levels and retrieve those assets accordingly on those levels to go with. The second thing that you can also see, again, the other facet maybe that you may want to be considering when working with Copilot in your Power BI is that, say, you can use your Copilot in your Power BI desktop with respect to see, you can have it enabled. Let me see if that option in this case is being enabled as such. Let's see. Mm, no, where is this? We close this. Let's go to DAX. Yeah. Okay. So what you can do is, okay, just a second. DAX. See. I can use my Copilot here in this case. Okay, very similar to that of somebody who has worked with Excel. I'm pretty sure you would see align to what I'm trying to talk about. But yes, on a given report, you can definitely see I'm here in the same report as such. Okay, the report part I'm talking about. So what I can do is in the DAX query view, I can see a while the benefits of what Copilot that can suggest me for that matter be. Okay, you can also see ask my Copilot to write a DAX query in that case to go with. Now this is pretty much possible. Let me show you. See, I can do the same thing here in the case of my Power BI. say what do you call your report, say your service also. Okay, so what happens is that say let's go to our workspace and let's my workspace. This is my semantic. Well, let's not say this, just a kind of a stuff. Okay, all right. Okay, and see write DAX queries here. And I can use Copilot. The same kind of a UI, but yes, I'm just showing you like whether it's in your Power BI service or whether it's in your Power BI desktop, you can use Copilot as such. So with your DAX query view, whether in your Power BI desktop, Power BI service, you can use natural language, all right, to query. You just want to be asking, okay, what you want from your semantic model, have the DAX query generated by the Copilot. You can also maybe say select existing DAX query and maybe you want to have it modified. Even that is pretty much possible. So you can say, for example, sometimes it's possible somebody is very new to maybe Power BI kind of a stuff. And see, I also tell this for the other sessions in Excel also. Somebody who finds difficulty learning Excel as such. Okay, in those scenarios, maybe you already have some DAX query and you want to understand, okay, what that DAX query represents, okay, what that query is going to be doing. Maybe you want to learn something, all right. See, write a DAX query. Maybe you want to suggest some measures, all right. You want to explain what that DAX query is, all right. You can definitely be doing that. So you can explain that query. Maybe you write a query, you want to try the message around there. Definitely that is pretty much possible. Okay. And once that has been say, let me see, suggest a measure. All right, let's see. I'm going to be using this and let's see whether it has something in place. I guess no, earlier we were not able to. Let's see. So even if there are some mistakes, okay, maybe see, uh, that is pretty much possible. So maybe to identify for that matter being, all right. Mm, okay, that seems to be running forever and forever. Okay, okay, let's see on the given data. All right, let's see. Okay, let me ask Copilot to explain this queries. I think that I'm very new to this particular, I can use this. Okay, and let's see what Copilot has to give. Okay, this query returns. All right. Okay, what do you call? The first rows in the accounts table, evaluate is used to see it very specifically highlights and speaks on the syntax front. Okay, okay, that is pretty much possible. Perfect. Uh, yes. All right. See. Okay. Now let me use a copilot, my copilot. Okay, and say that write a DAX query to show. All right. What was that? Revenue by the region. Let's see. There you see. So if you're okay with the kind of say the query that has been generated, okay, you can keep the query. Okay, or maybe for on a conversational level, maybe I want to make some changes or write updates to my initial request that was being sent. All right, um, I can definitely be doing that accordingly. Or if I want to discard it, even that is pretty much possible. Okay, I can keep the query, or maybe say, okay, let me keep this query, and maybe say I haven't understood what it is trying to do. All right. So what I can definitely do is I can use my Copilot, all right, and say, ask my Copilot to explain this query as such around there. So you can get a detailed explanation of the tax query, all right, by invoking the particular Copilot as such around there. So you can see it summarizes the total revenue by particular region as such around. Okay, it's pretty much possible. And maybe you want to run this. Okay, you can definitely have it. See, you have this query being run and using it in those scenarios to go with. That is pretty much possible. You can also see, see, I'm just getting rid of this. All right. Yes, let's get rid of this very particularly. You can also use your Copilot to create measures, descriptions as such. Okay. So whenever you want to add descriptions to your semantic model measures with your Fabric Copilot or the Copilot for your Power BI as such. Okay. Especially people who are going to be building reports and so on. So that is also pretty much possible. So that's where you see what you can definitely do is you can create descriptions with your Copilot for that matter. So for that, what you need to do is you can definitely see, let's say in your Power BI desktop, where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay, let's go to the see. Okay, and see in your model view. Okay, what you can do is again you can use your Copilot. All right, that can help you in the scenarios to go with. So let's see. Okay, if there are any measures. You see? So for example, average opportunity days, you see here? So you can create with Copilot. You see that? You can select the create under the description here, the properties part very particularly, and you can review the description, measure description from the Copilot. And maybe if you want to keep it, all right, and so and so, definitely that is very much possible. So what your Copilot can help you is that say, okay, whenever you want to write measured descriptions, all right, that is very much see here. Okay, you want to have it created very particularly, that is pretty much possible. So in your modeling view of your Power BI desktop or maybe your Power BI workspace very specifically, you can all right create description for your of the semantic model measures for that matter. And say what you can do is you can generate description in your natural language based upon the DAX formula for your measures, all right. Or once it's been updated, maybe you want to have create instructions, descriptions as such around here. Even that is pretty much possible on those levels to go with, as I stated. So again, this kind of properties again is available within the context of your particular Copilot to go with. Let me see if I'm missing something that I am supposed to be talking about in the context of our discussion. All right, see, yeah, I gave you talking about see how you can generate summaries, am I right? And definitely how you can share your findings. I talked about maybe how you can subscribe to your particular report, how that subscriptions can be taken into consideration as such. Okay, how you can discover your data and so on. So yeah, I spoke about these facets. Yes, let me see if I'm missing something that needs to be discussed so that you reap the value of it. Mm, multiple screens open, right? That is creating kind of an okay. Yeah, Because we spoke about subscriptions, right? Yeah. Okay. So you would have seen me, all right, taking you navigating through the possibilities of what Copilot has to offer. Of course, Copilot is really empowering businesses for sure. Uh, and that's where, see, as a data professional who doesn't want an assistant right is at his or her disposal. And that's where you can use your Copilot. Now, understand that again, the capacity that is very important to be taken into account so that you can use, okay, benefit from the capabilities of your AI assistant that is your Copilot. So definitely what you can do is see you can go back and check with respect to the fabric capacities that is to be enabled on your workspace level, and you can work with your reports. And of course, see maybe if you are someone who spends a lot of time with DAX queries, working with measures and analyzing those facets as such around there. Maybe you want to get some quick summaries. Maybe you want to work with respect to that of say analyzing, getting insights, probably on different say uh, the data set that you're going to work with and so on. So that is pretty much possible. So maybe you are a business user, maybe you are a creator very much, all right. You can use your Copilot for that matter. I would be interested in knowing that how many of you have leveraged that, or maybe see have identified this particular feature, which is called as see preparing your data, all right. Uh, with respect to your prep data for AI part. Okay, so you can improve the Copilot insights very specifically. Maybe for some of you, it might be very new, but yes, you can see, use, all right, explore the data, all right, get more insights with respect to AI instructions, AI data schema available in your Power BI desktop, and so that you can have verified answers available in your desktop Power BI service as such around there. I'm pretty sure that might be new for some of you who are listening here today. All right. But yes, that can also lead towards again having responses that can be more consistent. All right. In the context as you consume or maybe say have your results generated with respect to what you call say the Copilot for that matter. Of course, we haven't went with much deeper. Maybe you want to work with large data sets. Maybe you want to dig deeper, understand the data. As I said, maybe you're going to spend some time towards again exploring the data as such around there. Even that is pretty much possible. So sky is the limit, all right. Say again, how do you want to use it? So wherever these possibilities are available, maybe you want to learn, you want to modify, you want to implement as such around there with all your BI deliverables, all right. Working with large data sets, data modeling, creating reports, all right, generating summaries, visualizations, narratives for that matter being, all right. Definitely that is possible in the context of your solution to go with. Okay. Uh, so that's it that I had to talk in the context or maybe say narrate in the context of your say AI say capabilities that your Copilot really offers, all right, within that of your Power BI. So as a BI professionals, you will be able to use in those levels to go with. Um, so what can be the next step? Yes, very important. Something that can be considered is that as a trainer, of course, we definitely saw or looked into the possibilities of see what Copilot really has to offer. And of course, there are a bunch of array of say certifications that Microsoft has made it available. Again, considering the learners and the kind of value these certifications really bring in. All right. So consider getting yourself certified on the next level. And of course, here is where I want you to understand or highlight very particularly the benefit of a certification. And Microsoft has been in the business for a while, and there is definitely a derived value associated with these kind of certifications to go with. So of course, stand out and among, especially in this age, all right, where AI is taking reshaping, redefining the possibilities. I want you to explore the possible, say, what you call progressions that can be taken. Get yourself certified, stand out among your peers with respect to Microsoft certifications, showing that you really value. And here in Netcom also we do value. Our tag is definitely lifelong learning. So you can definitely take that into account and explore the possibilities with Microsoft array of certifications that Microsoft has available. And of course, you can download this particular handout. BI professionals are listening, right, for Power BI and so and so. So of course, we have a curated handbook which you can consider having it downloaded, which speaks on the context of the data for sure. So you can definitely understand how particularly trainings have been impactful, the kind of value that these certifications really bring in, and definitely see how you can be also be taking back, okay, deriving values with respect to productivity, efficiency, and so on. So, in the context of your, say, uh, line of work for that matter. So, of course, there are a bunch of these role-based instructions that we certifications that we have in. Whether you want to have a virtual training, whether you want to have an in-class training as such around there, see pretty much possible. And of course, a bunch of what, see whether from a very basic level to advanced specialty courses that we at Netcom definitely offer to be. So some aspects that I really want to highlight is that, say, all these certifications come with immense value, and if it's a one-time investment. So for fundamental certifications, you need not have to see reappear. Okay, you need not have to renew. It's lifelong. That certifications is gonna stay intact. And in case if you hold an associate level certification, you'll have to renew it once in a year. But the soon you renew it before its expiry, without even paying a single penny, you can definitely be having it in your kitty on your name or as a badge that you can be considering working or maybe taking it further ahead with the certifications for that matter. So you're eligible for renewal as you again you can take examinations with respect to the latest content being made available and definitely stay updated and relevant and with the certificate to go with for that matter. So what's stopping you guys? Go ahead, further ahead, explore the possibilities, all right, with respect to the kind of certifications that can be taken into account with Microsoft's world of possibilities to go with. Okay, with that, before we wrap up, let's embrace some questions. Okay, in case if you have any. So let's see if we have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Gino. That was most informative. I know everyone is looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting your questions into the questions panel. And while you do that, I would like to give the presentation rights over to Sagnik, our vendor manager, to introduce you to our promotions and webinar related courses.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Hello, everyone. So as you can see on my screen, this is the event handout that you all have received. Once again, we thank you all for taking out the time and joining our masterclass today. As part of this handout, you'd see the content section wherein the different sections within the document have been listed here, and everything is hyperlinked. So you can quickly use these links to jump to the specific section of the document. Before we proceed, it's worth mentioning that Netcom Learning, we are the proud winners of the Microsoft Partner of the Year award for 2 years in a row. So as we say, the legacy continues. In 2022, we were the Partner of the Year worldwide, and in 2023, we were the Partner of the Year for United States. And we are also a Microsoft Cloud Solutions partner. That means that we have capabilities across all the 6 solution areas recognized by Microsoft. A few more things about us. We are in the training industry for over 25 years now, having serviced over 80% of the Fortune 1000 companies, serviced 100 plus US military bases. Overall, we have trained 1 million plus professionals across 36,000 plus unique enterprises, and we enjoy a 96% recommendation rate from our customers. All our trainings on Microsoft are delivered by instructors that are certified and authorized by Microsoft. And our overall instructor pool stands at about 3,200 plus certified professionals. We are your one-stop solution for all your corporate upskilling needs with official training across every major technology and business solution provider. So as we can see over here, we are an authorized training partner for all the industry leaders across Microsoft, AWS, Cisco, Confia, PMI, EC Council, and others. Now, within this handout, you would also find this particular page wherein you can find the session recording. You can use the link to access the recording for today's session and revisit the concepts that were covered in today's masterclass. On this page, you'd find the link to access your complimentary courseware and the digital badges. The same landing page that we covered at the beginning of my presentation. You can find the direct access link here, and the link to which is also available on your chat on GoToWebinar. Also, all the participants will be given access to Netcom 365. It is our student portal that includes a lot of features and resources for you to take advantage of to supercharge your skilling journey. All you need to do if you're accessing it and activating it for the first time is set up your password and then you'd be good to go. We highly recommend everyone to explore our learning portal to take full advantage of all your skilling resources. Now let's quickly take a look at some of the latest offers on Microsoft trainings and certifications. First off, we have the Microsoft Quick Start program, which is applicable across the entire portfolio, encompassing Azure, Security, Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, and Power Platform. It is truly the best in class exclusive enterprise discount offering on your end-to-end Microsoft training across the official portfolio. The pricing model is quite simple and straightforward. If you have a team, if whether you are a large organization or a small organization, and you have a team to train across departments or within the same department, we have two options for you depending on your team size. If you are looking to train more than 15 learners, you would be getting a flat discounted pricing of $300 per day per learner. And of course, as the number of days for the particular training increases, the amount also increases, but you get significant savings on this. If you are having a smaller team that is 14 learners or less, then you still are entitled to a $400 discounted flat pricing per day per learner. This really accounts to huge savings when it comes to large scale training. So we highly recommend everyone to get in touch with us, explore the offering by clicking on the link provided in this handout. And all your trainings can also be customized based on the specific projects and workloads that you and your team, your organization is working on. And our industry specific subject matter expertise encompasses a wide range of verticals, as you can see over here, from banking and financial services, healthcare, federal and state and local government, to education, energy, manufacturing, retail, consumer goods, and more. Also, we have a Netcom Plus subscription available for all the attendees. In case you are looking to have an annual subscription plan, you are comfortable learning at your own pace, a self-paced learning modality in the form of e-learning, this is the ultimate solution for your requirements, right? So you get access to 600 plus courses and 40 AI exam certifications, all at a price of only $399 per learner annually, right? So for only less than the price of a single seat, right, of a course, you get an year-long subscription model. You get an year-long access to 600 plus courses, 40 AI exam certifications, and all our trainings are recorded and you'd be getting the expert guidance through these e-learning modules from industry leaders who are designed to upskill professionals across all industries. So click on this link on your handout to learn more about our Netcom Plus subscription. Now, we'd like to also quickly go over some facts about Microsoft certifications. Role-based and specialty certifications tend to expire within 1 year, right? You need to in order to maintain your certification from Microsoft, you need to renew them before they expire. And the renewal process from Microsoft is really simple and easy, and it is cost effective because it's free of cost. You don't have to pay any additional fees to continue maintaining your certification, right? So please make sure to go through this insightful ebook, The Win-Win of Certification. So in case you're planning to get officially Microsoft certified on one of these role-based certifications, this is a great resource for you to know inside out about all the perks that these have to offer. Also, in case you have a team and before you commit to maybe a quick start program for training your team extensively, maybe you want to go for a test drive, right? You want to understand how it adds value to your team, whether it's the right solution for you, whether training is making business sense for your team. We have an ideal solution for you to assess that precisely, right? So for our enterprise customers with teams of 10 or more members, we have the 2 hour private group training demo as a solution, which is also customizable. So our SMEs are going to connect with you, understand what your requirements are. They're going to prepare a targeted skilling plan, and then we are going to customize a 2 hour training for your team as a demo for a more extensive training engagement in case you see the value out of it. And all of these training sessions are delivered from our top Microsoft certified trainers. So this is a great tool. Please make sure to leverage it in case you are planning to explore more training opportunities. And last but not the least, we also have a learning passport, which is our go-to tool for year-long end-to-end enterprise training requirements. It is the ultimate flexible team training package. Irrespective of where your team members are located, irrespective of which modality you need to train your team on, or on which technology or vendor you need to train your team on, the Learning Passport is the ultimate solution. You get access to 4,000 plus official courses. You get flexible fund validity of 12 months. So whatever you invest as part of your Learning a Passport account fund, we we almost doubled it, right? In case, depending on the amount that you are investing, Netcom Learning also pitches in, contributes to grow your overall fund value so you can train your team to the maximum possible amount that your funds allow you to do. So this is a great tool. Please make sure to explore it in case this is something that you are planning to deploy and you're planning to train your team on AI, Copilot, or any other solution. Also on this deck, you will find some Microsoft recommended courses related to today's topic, as well as a couple of free resources which are mapped here. We highly encourage you to explore these post the session and get in touch with us in case you have any specific skilling requirements. We would love to help you in your skilling journey. With that, please make sure to follow us for the latest updates on IT and business training through our social handles across LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And with that, we are done for the session. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that information, Sagnik. And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. How does Copilot actually understand my data model?
Okay. So, of course, when we were discussing about maybe using leveraging Copilot for sure, say your Copilot uses, say, semantic models metadata. So you have the table name. Of course, you would have spent some time working with your, say, data modeling and relationships. So it understands the measures, the descriptions, and then tries to interpret. So at the end of the whole day, it's AI. It takes contextual understanding. So whenever you have that schema being represented with the meaningful names, your Copilot will use that contextual understanding to understand the data model and provide you with valuable insights in that scenario to go with.
Can Copilot generate insights that aren't already in the report?
Yes, your Copilot can answer questions across the entire arena of your semantic model. So even in case if you don't have seen certain visuals that are available or that have been represented in that of your report, your Copilot should be able to generate insights. And of course, in case you would have already seen, right, say that when we were working with that kind of a report and we asked suggestions of Copilot, maybe is there any way that some kind of an insight can be represented? And you saw that the Copilot was able to know visuals on the particular spot based upon the question that or maybe the prompt that was being specified from my end. So the answer to that question is that yes, your Copilot can definitely answer questions, all right, even if okay, that's not being represented in your particular report, but on the context of the data that is being made available. Yeah.
Can Copilot help if my data set is large and complex?
Yep. You would have seen me working with respect to a small amount of data for sure. Typically in the business context, definitely I understand where that question comes from. So you're going to deal with large amount of data for sure. But yes, your Copilot can definitely work with long reports, maybe working with visualizations. Maybe you want to have explanations for your components, especially when you're dealing with large data sets. But yes, whether it is for your Copilot with your Power BI or maybe in your Word or Excel as such. What goes is that, see, the clarity that you can introduce with your prompts will play a very crucial role. All right. Second thing is that whenever you're working with these large data sets, the modelings and so, it would be very important to highlight the fact that, see, what do you call, say, the clarity that you can introduce with your schema, data schema for that matter. Okay, the star schema, that modeling schema that goes into, and that way you can definitely uh, achieve that kind of capability that Copilot really introduces on the table as you work with large and complex data sets.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave this session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.